Welcome back. I'm Jay from Video Shelter. Today we are going to create this realistic shadows in Photoshop. Alright, so we'll be creating this realistic reflections in Photoshop. So I'll be using this image. I'll just open it in Photoshop. This one. I've got this image from Google. If you go to Google and search for skyline images, so it's in the second line, third line somewhere. Alright, so download, follow along. So yeah guys, before I start I just want to tell you guys, like, I'm not working on mouse. I've just bought this new Wacom tablet, so I don't know, I might be a little shaggy or something like that on this thing, so please cooperate with me. Alright, so let's begin. So yeah, let's do one thing. Let's unlock the layer, and I just want this I don't want the water thing in the on this image, so I'll be just copying the image till here. So what I will do is I'll use my crop tool, pressing C on the keyboard, or you can just go here, grab your crop tool, and let's crop it till here. Right, press enter to get out of this mode. Okay, and so what we want to do is, like, we want the space down here so that we can flip the image vertically and place it down here and make the shadows out of that. So what I will do is I'll just select the layer. Alright, select the layer. I'll go to the image, canvas size, and then what I will do is I'll press this arrow key, which will give us the space to increase the space in the bottom side of the image. I'll move from inches to percent. I'll press 200%, so I'll get the same amount of space down here. Right, Control minus to zoom out a bit. So what I will do is I'll press Control R or Command R if you're on Mac, alright, to bring in the rulers. I'll tell you guys to go to View and enable Ruler and Snap, so it will automatically snap the ruler in the center of the image. So what I will do is I'll just grab and move it down, so it will automatically snap there. Alright, so what I will do is now is I'll grab my rectangle marquee tool, select the image till here, alright, and I'll press Command J or Control J if you're on Windows. Right. So do that. And now we have two images. I'll just duplicate that once more. So this is going to be my skyline image, and this one is going to be my reflection. Alright. So what I will do is I'll select my reflection layer, press Ctrl T, flip vertical, press and drag it. No, sorry, you don't have to drag it, we just have to move it downwards. So press enter, and what we will do is now we'll select my reflection layer. I'll make one more copy in case if I mess up something, so I'll have something to work on again. Okay, so this is reflection copy. I'll bring it down. I'm working on reflection. Alright. So what I will do is I'll go to my filter, blur, motion blur. Okay, I'll use the value of 90 here, and the distance of 70. That is too much. Let's say 40. Okay. So now if you notice, if I hide my guidelines here by Control H, so you'll see there is a lot of, there's a bit of, we call this, transparency has been built up here if I zoom in. Just because when we use motion blur or any other blur, we get this thing from the on the bottom of the edges of the images. So what I will do is I'll press Control T to go to my transformation tool and stretch it up a bit. That way I'll just delete that thing out of it. So what I will do is now reflections are there, right? We can see the reflections. If I zoom in, reflection is there, but this thing is looking like a piece of glass. Alright, but we don't want that. We want some natural look over here. So what I will do is I'll select my reflection layer in, go to my smudge tool. Okay, I'll choose the brush of somewhere around 250. My blend mode is normal, and I'll use the strength of 7. Okay, by pressing open bracket, I just messed up something. Smudge tool. And what I will do is I'll just smudge the reflection layer once in this direction, once in this direction, sorry about the stupid noise. I'm working on this touch, so that's how it makes noise. So I'm really sorry about that. So yeah, smudge tool is quite heavy, so it will take some time to process this thing. Plus my Camtasia is working along, so it will take some time. Please bear out with me. Thank you so much. Alright, once you're done, you'll get something like this. If I zoom in right now, you'll get to see like the waves or whatever. There's some movement in water. That is what you'll get here. It will give a bit of organic look to your image. So what next I'm going to do is like I'll create few ripples over here, the waves in the water, slight movement in the water, right? So what I will do is I'll create a new layer, Control Shift N, or you can just create a new layer from down bottom here. Right. So my foreground color is white, so Control Backspace. So I'll fill this layer with white. Now what I will do is I'll go to Filters, Noise, Add Noise. So I have figured out these values work quite well. Amount 400. Instead of uniform, I'm using Gaussian and monochromatic. Alright, press OK. And what next? So yeah, what we can do is we'll use motion blur on this again. Okay, this time the value of angle will be 0. And sorry, filters, blur, motion blur, value of 0, distance of somewhere around 45 is fine. So yeah, but still I want some contrast on this ripple. So what I will do is I'll press Ctrl L, Command L if you're on Mac, and I bring in the contrast in this image. You may find different values, but yeah, this is how it works. You need to find something like this, so it will fit well on your project. Press OK. Yeah. So if you have ever seen the landscape image, you know, with the reflections on water, or water is there, right? So what happens is the ripples which are close to camera are bigger in length, and which are far from camera are smaller in length. So what we will do is I'll zoom out a bit, press Ctrl T, I'll right click on the center of this thing and perspective. I'll choose perspective. So yeah, just stretch it out a bit this side and a bit this side. Right. Press enter. Now before we duplicate, I just want to add on one more effect, that is blur, Gaussian blur, and value of 3 is pretty much okay. And now I'll duplicate this layer. So this is going to be ripple, and use rip, and this is going to be ripple shadows. Rip shadow. Alright, I'll hide this layer for now. So on this I'll use the blending mode of soft light, and I'll use the opacity 20%. Okay, and for the shadow thing, if I turn on the layer, I want to inverse the selection or inverse the colors, you can say. So I'll press Ctrl I or Command I if you're on Mac. So you'll find something like this, and go to the blend options, and you can choose multiply. Alright, and the opacity of 10. If I zoom in now, you'll find the ripples are there. So if you don't find, if you can, you can always go back and play with the values. 15 is there, and I can choose 25 for this, or even I can go even more wild. I can use 30 for this and 35 for this. Okay, so it looks pretty good. Yeah, now it's not looking good, so I'll use value of 25. Looks pretty good now. Yeah. So now what should be done? It's perfect. So I'll use my blur tool. I just want to blur the ripples which are very close to the camera. Control minus on the keyboard to zoom in, zoom out, and Control plus to zoom in. So I'll choose this layer again and do the same settings. If you go on the settings tab, I have chosen this blur tool, and I'm choosing the brush value of 400, hardness 0, blend mode normal, strength 100. And you can follow the same thing. Okay, so what I will do is I'll select all the images, press Ctrl Shift Alt E. That will give us a snapshot of everything what we have done. Okay, press Ctrl Shift N to create a new layer. Press OK, and I'll be choosing the gradient here to give a bit more organic look. Choose this second gradient with black to 0 opacity or transparent. Okay, and this linear blur. Okay, linear gradient. Sorry. So I'll press Ctrl H to unhide my ruler because I just don't want to overdo and go till up. So I just want to do the shadows here. So hold on Shift to stretch the straight line. This is what happens when you use Wacom type for the first time. Yeah, so you can see a bit of shadow. It's quite harsh here, so I'll just bring down the opacity to 30, maybe 35. Hide the Control 0 to fit the canvas. Right. So yeah, this is pretty much. I hope you like it. If you have any comments, you can write down in the comment section. If you want any specific tutorial for yourself, you can just send me a message, my Facebook page, something like that. You can subscribe to the channel. Do something good, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Keep motivated. Keep me motivated, right?